Today on City Cast Chicago. Now that we all knee deep in summer and starting to spend a little more time outside, I'm gonna be real. Nothing determines where I'm gonna be outside more than the music. And last year, I got to sit down with one of my favorite Chicago DJs, DJ Cash Era, to talk about some of her favorite spots and, of course, some etiquette for the DJ booth. Also, we talking about lounges and clubs in this episode, so we ain't hold back on the language in this one. It's Thursday, June 26th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. Kasera Heining, aka DJ Cash Era, is one of Chicago's best and busiest DJs. She's also a WGN radio producer and one of the official concourse and atrium DJs for the Bulls. She's also been voted one of Chicago's top DJs by the Chicago Reader for the last 5 years. Yes, we trying to get like her. Cash Era, welcome to City Cast Chicago.
Yo, what's going on, man? How you feeling, Kobe?
Gee, I am doing amazing. I have been wanting to do this episode for so long. I have seen you at Dorian's for the Big Kia show. I have seen you at the Bulls game, and I've seen you all over the city, and it is a pleasure to have you in the building today. You recently celebrated 10 years as a DJ in Chicago. First and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want you to take me back and tell me about Club DJ One, a course at Columbia College, and how did that play into your start as a DJ?
Oh, man, you did your research. Club DJ One was, honestly, it was a glorious mistake, I guess you could call it. I was short 3 credit hours to be considered full-time. And my college advisor, she looked at it and she was like, oh, well, like Club DJ One is in the same building as all your radio classes. It's on the same floor. It's an easy A, just take it. I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, I had played the DJ Hero that, was dropped on Xbox a couple years prior. So I'm like, you know what? Like, it sounds like fun. That's cool. Let's get it. And walked into class the very first day. My professor's name was DJ INC, which stands for I Need Cash. So a part of my name is also paying homage to him. People don't know that sometimes.
I love that.
And first day in, he was like, all right, these are turntables. This is a vinyl. I'm going to have y'all touch this, play with this, scratch the record, everything.
Chicago obviously has such a rich music history, but specifically when we think about DJs, I mean, at house parties, at house halls, at skating rinks, how important really is a DJ to, however, like I could be naming events for days.
Right. I mean, I've always had mad respect for the DJs because I grew up listening to them on the radio and whatnot. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm like, if there's no music and there's no DJ, you have no party. Like, you can gather all these people together, but if no one's controlling the music and setting the vibe, people gonna get bored.
Yep.
They're gonna leave, they're not interact, like they're not moving. And I've always felt like that. Like, yeah, producers are important, all that good stuff, but if you have the right DJ on your lineup, it don't matter who's producing the show. The DJ is gonna bring the people out.
I watch my girlfriend make decisions on where we're going, and the venue is not the most important. The theme of the party is not the most important. It's, do I know who's spinning? Do I know who's playing tonight and what their reputation is, the type of music they play, their interplay with the crowd, whatever the case may be. I know there are a lot of people who are listening that want to know a DJ's perspective, particularly Cash Era's perspective on favorite places to spin, the best crowd. So I want to walk through a few of those categories and see what are your favorite Chicago or Chicago adjacent places based on the genre. Okay.
Oh, so okay. I got you. I like this. I like this.
So let's start here. Like, for you and for the people in the crowd, one of the most important things is, can I clearly hear the music? So for you, what's a place or a couple places that just have fabulous sound from your perspective?
Fabulous sound systems. I will say off rip. And this venue, I need to figure out if they're going to like stay open or like what they're doing. DS Tequila in Voice Sound. They have an amazing sound system. Chop Shop, they typically do like random one-off type parties or like party series. Love the sound there. I know people tend to go to like Everyday People. I haven't spun that party yet, but them doing it at the Salt Shed, It's the Salt Shed, one of the newest venues we have in this city.
I love Salt Shed sound.
Their sound system is a monster. A place I haven't spun in a while, but they do have amazing sound, and they also have really good DJs all the time. Is I believe it's called, I believe it's pronounced rather, Late Nocturne, and that's in Uptown.
Les Nocturne up in Uptown, yes.
So I think Late Nocturne is honestly a venue that is highly slept on when it comes to sound quality in a venue space for sure.
And for a place that when I've been, they're playing Afro beats, they're playing house music. The sound system is so critical. They're like the Caribbean vibes in there, and so much of the music is the bass. The less the lyrics and more of the instrumental, but you hear it so crisp inside of Les Nocturne. I've enjoyed Salt Shed. I actually was shocked that it was as good because essentially it feels like an open warehouse. Like you got concrete floors, like it got like it's the old Morton Salt warehouse. And so I was skeptical about how good it was going to sound, but I went when Masego was playing, and he's a lot of live music. Ooh. And so that was the first show I saw there, and I knew that I was going to be back.
Absolutely.
So we talked a little bit about good acoustics, good sound systems. Next, I want to switch over to crowds. Like, obviously, I'm selfish. I'm thinking about how good the DJ is for me, but from your perspective, I imagine there's a little bit of like give and take there, that like you give your energy to the crowd and they give it back, and there's that sort of play there. For you personally, what are some of your favorite places to spin because you know the crowd is going to show up?
Honestly, and I've been saying this for years, I think my number one favorite crowd to play to is at Scarlet. And that's where I'm at every Saturday night. The crowd there truly comes to dance. And I think that's something that like me and a lot of my DJ homies been talking about a lot lately. Like because of social media and the rise of TikTok viral sounds and whatnot, a lot of the time certain venues you play, people only want to hear this quick snippet of a song and don't care to learn the rest. Or they're too consumed with like doing the bottle service and seeing who all's in there and being seen to where they're standing in a section not really caring to dance. Like they're too worried about their outfit. They're worried they're not gonna look cool. And it's like Scarlet and Boys Town, that's one of the few clubs where like people will have their phones out, yes, but it's rare. And actually something I've been seeing a lot, especially in Boys Town area now, is people are bringing out just digital cameras. Like physical, actual, like a Nikon camera.
Yes.
And taking a quick picture, cameras back in their pocket, they back to dancing. They're dancing, they're singing, they're moving.
For you as a DJ, obviously you want to see people moving, you want to see people having a good time. Does it take you out of your vibe if you look out on a crowd and yeah, maybe they're enjoying the music, but it's not moving their body?
Sometimes it can. I think it really depends on like what type of event it is. If it's like a big party and it's a party meant for you to be moving and people aren't moving, there are moments where I get in my head and be like, damn, like is it me? Like, am I not playing properly? Like, what's wrong? And in those moments, I start to become a bully, and I mean it in the sense of like, I'll look in the crowd, and it's like, all right, like these people are dancing, but that table over there is not moving. Let me see if I play like some throwbacks, does that get them moving?
Okay,
throwbacks got them. Bet. I was DJing this one event, and this dude walked up. He was like, man, what you plan on playing? And I was like, you sound like you don't believe in me at all, Alfred. He was like, I'll be honest, I'm a little skeptical. But that's cool. That's fine. So he would come in and out, and I was playing like some R&B, so I had all the girls singing. All the girls are singing. Dudes who came with their girls, they singing along, they vibing cool. And Buddy just wasn't going. I'm like, all right, let me try something else. I started doing some hip hop, and he got into it a little bit. I'm like, you an old school hip hop head. Boy, I dropped Crucial Conflict. He about lost his shit. He about lost his shit.
I love that though. The idea that you're that present at a set. Like we're going to talk about events and set lists, but the idea that you are that present in an event that you can still be committed to your rotation, your sound, your flow, but also can still curate in that specific moment for a particular person, I think speaks a lot to how not only good you are at your job, but how aware you are. Because I've seen DJs who are technically good at their job, but they seem disconnected from what's actually happening in the venue at the moment.
Yeah. I think one of my superpowers is that I am a woman, because what I find is that women DJs tend to lean into our intuition more, and we tend to be a little bit more caring, more endearing. So with me, I think sometimes DJs like, I got to make sure I play the hottest shit. I'm not worried about playing the hottest songs. Every DJ is going to play the hottest songs. That's not my concern. My concern is, did you have fun? Did you dance? Did you groove? Did I play a random throwback song or a random mashup that you were not expecting? Something that's just like a curveball where you vibe into it and you hear the next song coming in, you like, whoa, hey, like, all right, bet, like, we gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm known for my mashups. I'm known for taking two genres that don't go together at all. That's what I'm known for.
I need an example. Give me 2 songs back to back that you've put them on and people go, oh, no, you know what you're doing up there. Oh, you know what you're doing.
I think I think one of the ones that I get a lot of reactions from is Revolution by Kirk Franklin into My Neck, My Back by Kaya. I think that's one that definitely gets people going. TikTok, Gospel Talk, Let My Ass Have It. When I uploaded it on TikTok a couple months ago, I think that's still one of my videos that got the most views on it. So yeah.
You want a revolution? Pop your pussy like this.
They shall hunger no more, neither shall they thirst anymore.
Yeah, that's it'd be stuff like that I'll do.
We've talked about sound, we've talked about crowd, but what just are some of your favorite venues to play in general?
Oh, amazing. Venues in general, where the crowd is good, the sound is great. I would say shout out to Cerise. I really love the views up there. I really enjoy Broken Shaker. Like, I know a lot of people cannot stand partying in River North, but I do feel like Broken Shaker is in the Freehand Hotel is one of those spots where it's like you can actually just go in there and vibe.
Mm.
Like, you go in there, they have DJs on Fridays and Saturdays. You can go in there and catch a vibe. Sometimes it gets to be juking a little bit. They have food, they got drinks. It's like, what more could you ask for? So I love Broken Shaker, and that's a spot where I can play anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything and everything will get played. You don't like this song, wait for the next one. It's a vibe. We bounce through all the genres imaginable. I also enjoy the Promontory. It's just something about being in the historic area of Hyde Park, and they just, when I think of Promontory, I've been thinking of the aunties. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the parties there, you get a lot of the aunties, and we are the new aunties, which is very scary. You know what? Ramova Beer Garden. Honestly, it's Ramova in general. Like, they got the beer garden, they got the area upstairs, they have the main hall. Ramova in general got it on lock, hands down.
Just that entire revitalization from the theater to the restaurant, the beer garden, been good to see.
Yeah, I think those are like my top. You know what? Tao is a cool place to play. Tao is cool. They got all the lights going and whatnot for them.
From your bucket list to your pet peeves, I have to ask this. First, from the crowd, what are your biggest pet peeves from the crowd? Because I feel like anytime I've seen a DJ online, they are telling people, don't you request no songs. So I want to know, what are your biggest pet peeves? And if I see you at a spot, should I come up and ask you to play my favorite song?
You know what it is? The thing is, I don't mind requests, right? Like, I don't mind requests in proper settings. Mm-hmm. So like
the skating ring.
I think like a skating rink, or like even sometimes in a nightclub, sometimes I don't mind the request. But my thing is, like, be conscious of what you're asking, how you're asking, and when you're asking me to play it. So like, if we're at a party and you see everybody is vibing to like the Juke Slide or Chicago house music, and you walk up and you're like, can you play Taylor Swift? That is not fitting the vibe right now. No one in here is pressed to hear T Swift. No shot to T Swift. She got some bangers. I like 22. You know what I'm saying? But not right now. We are bouncing and breaking our backs. This is not the time for We Are Never Getting Back Together. Wrong time, bro.
This is time for Slide. This is time for They Just Let the GDs in the door. You talking about?
I also can't stand, like, if you ask for a request and I tell you, like, yeah, I got you, let me get to your request in time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just gonna stop this record and play that one because you want to hear it, because that is your all-time favorite song. If you love that song so much, baby, leave. Go put your AirPods in and play it outside. Bye. Like, calm down. I feel like that's what really irks me about requests. People make requests and it's like they want to hear it right now. Like, I'm just Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna Spotify playlist, babes. I'm not just gonna scratch this record and stop it. And hey, y'all, so and so right here wants to hear this new joint by Bad Bunny. Check this out. Play. Like, no, we're not doing that. I'm going to play that. But also, it's like, be for real. If Glorilla just dropped some new shit, I'm going to play it. Obviously.
Don't come request the hottest songs that are out right now. They're coming.
If you get to the club late, we have an hour left. Maybe 30 minutes left. And you talk about some, oh, can you play this song? And I'm like, I already played it. Man, why would you do it? Just because you ain't got shit to do with me.
Right.
You should have been on time. Or if you got here at 9 o'clock and you're asking for a midnight song, I hope you brought your patience with you because you're not hearing it yet. I'm so sorry. It's all of 10 people in here with us, and half of that is the bar staff. We're not playing the bangers yet.
I think you just got at this idea of flow of a set, the idea that there are different songs for different parts of the night. And I want to get to that. But last pet peeve I want to get, we talked about pet peeves from the crowd. But what about when you are watching your colleagues, your contemporaries, right? Other DJs in Chicago play. What are your biggest DJ pet peeves? And you ain't got to put no names or faces to it. Just you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that.
Let me make sure I don't get canceled on this podcast here. Kobe, you're trying to get me canceled out here. Ooh, okay. If a DJ has to go on after me, you should not be late for your set. But I think, like, and if you are running late, communicate that, because I know for me and a lot of other DJs in the city, we'll get booked for DJ sets back to back to back in a night or in a day. So it's like, in the time that I need to pack up here and go to my next gig, you being late, you're making me late for my next event.
Great point. What's the most amount of sets or different places you've done in a day?
In a day, I would say 5. It's either 5 or 6 in one day, from like early morning to the end of the night.
Ooh.
And that is all about time management. Something else that colleagues may do, if you have drinks in the booth with you, do not spill your drinks on the equipment. Because now when I try to use it, it's sticking, it's sticky, it ain't working, etc. If you spill a drink in the DJ booth, get it cleaned up. Also, if you got hella people in the booth with you and I need to come in there and set up, I'm a big girl. Get them to leave. Have them step down. Be like, hey, the other DJ's here. Can you step out for me?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've said you've done up to 5 or 6 events in a night, and these are different type of events. We've already hinted at it. I've seen you DJ local events like Big Kid Show at Dorian's. Shout out Rage Jackson, everybody over there. You've done university festivals like Fall Fest at NEIU. You've done partnerships with the Bulls, major festivals, everything in between. One, is there an event type that you prefer? Something low key, like a family event, a club, outdoor, indoor? And then second, how do you get your mind around building a set list for a particular event? Like, what goes into your decision making there?
You know, I really do enjoy the festivals. I get really nervous for festivals because of the big crowds, but I love festivals. I really enjoy when I get to DJ like at a parade or something.
Okay.
That's just a cool experience, just to be moving and whatnot. I enjoy dance parties a lot, but I also love a good lounge. I love a good lounge. Yeah, clearly I'm not picky. I love DJing.
And so when you're thinking about like a festival versus playing a event at Dorian's, where you're helping transition from one performance to the next, helping keep people, you know, somewhat engaged in a good mood as we move from performer to performer, versus an event where you are the person people came for and they're coming to listen to your set. Like, how do you conceptualize or build a set based on an event?
Gotcha. Well, you know what? Actually, like the events, like what you see at Dorian's, and for those who don't know, Dorian's, there's this event that's called Big Kid Show. and it's essentially it's a poetry slam.
Mhm.
But any creative art goes. Doesn't have to be poetry specifically. Has to be original art. You get 3 minutes to perform. But I got my very first paid gig ever,
Louder
even
than the
like
bomb.
while still in college, was Louder Than a Bomb. Right,
Mhm.
now known as Rooted and Radical. But I got my start doing that, and it's the same thing. Poetry Slam Festival. So I was, that's my main background in DJing, and I think that really helps me to curate my sets. Louder Than the Bomb's phrase used to be "listen to the poem," and it was really literally just meaning like take a minute to stay off your phone and really take in what this person is saying to you, and the way you're moving, the way you're acting is telling me everything I need to know. So that's how I'm able to curate my sets when I do festivals or clubs or big stages, whatever have you. It's because of those events like Dorian's. As far as like how I curate it conceptually and what I think about, before I walk into any event, I'm thinking about absolutely nothing.
Mm.
I never walk into an event already having a pre-planned set where I'm like, okay, these are the songs I'm gonna play A through Z. That's never been my style. I want to read the
Even
crowd
when
in
you were
real time.
starting, you never came in with like I'm gonna get through these 20, but I'm gonna work on the
Nope.
technique of getting through oh, that's what's up.
Nope. I never was the type to do that because my thing was I may walk in here, right? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, we going hype. We starting at 10 and we're gonna take it to 20. But if I walk into the party and it's still chill and everybody's at like a 4, I can't just come in and you at 4 and I'm like, all right, I'm on 10. We lit, let's go. It's gonna be like, dang, bro, like this vibe got real aggressive real quick.
Uh-huh.
So it's my thing is like I want to go in and I want to build up the crowd. I've done it once or twice where I did like fully pre-plan out a set and things that I'm playing the crowd's not really reacting to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, this is not about me. This isn't about me. It's not about what I want to hear. It's about the crowd here. What does the crowd need? What does the crowd want to hear? And a lot of the times I walk in and they'll be like, what's the first song going to be? And I tell people every single set, I don't know. It's going to be a surprise for you and me.
I'll see when I get up there. Everything is connected. Do you have a Chicago anthem that you love to play that like most events you could likely hear this song in there at some point?
I think Bounce and Break Your Back, you'll typically hear during one of my sets. Um, Percolator, for the house heads and whatnot. I also really enjoy Heard You Say and Before I Let Go.
Okay.
Because in Chicago, we love a line dance. Love
Mm-hmm.
a line dance. Before I Let Go, and it's a track. It's called "Get Down" by DJ Quick and Chingy. Chicago love a line dance, boy. We love a good line dance.
One more question before I let you go. When you are giving tips to people who want to get into DJing, people who are up and coming, what are your biggest tips for them? Because when people ask me about getting stage time as like a storyteller or a poet, there are tons of open mics I could send them to. There are tons of
Right.
jam sessions, storytelling shows. But for like a DJ, what are your tips for people starting out, and what are some ways that they can break into the scene?
That's a great question because a lot of the resources that I had when I first started no longer exist. For anybody trying to start out now, I would say YouTube University is free and is your best friend. Guitar Center also offers DJ classes, so I've learned. TikTok also does offer some pretty good educational videos. I'm forever learning some new shit off of TikTok. And if you have a DJ that you really enjoy how they mix and you look up to them, hit them up and ask them, do they offer lessons? The worst they'll say to you is no. That's it. Even if it's just a quick like Zoom thing, and there's explaining to you what different buttons do. Start there. But also, you can buy a very cheap starter DJ board. Like I would recommend a great starter board that I'd recommend is the DDJ SB3.
Mm-hmm.
It runs for like $250, I think. But if you can catch it on like a Black Friday deal or a Cyber Monday, or Amazon's always running random ass sales, buy a board, plug it in, start playing with it. That was literally the beginnings of me learning how to DJ. Was me just being able to have access to the equipment and just pushing buttons and playing around with it to learn what something does. With DJ, it's about creativity. Have fun with it. Like you not gonna start out and sound like DJ Jazzy Jeff. It's not gonna happen for you. It's gonna sound like shit. And I say that from experience. I have mixes saved from my first year ever of DJing and learning how to DJ. And I listen to them like when I be hard on myself in current times, I will pause and play one of those mixes and be like, oh Lord. Baby Casera came a very long way. Thank God for growth and education and practice. Because if people heard how I started out, I would not be the DJ Casera people know today. That's for damn sure. But the actual art of DJing is a beautiful creative process. Have fun in the messiness of the process of it.
I think that was a perfect place to end. DJ Cash Era, one of my favorite and one of the best DJs in the city of Chicago. Thank you for making time for CityCast today.
Anytime, Kobe. I appreciate you so much. Much love, man. Much love.
You can catch DJ Cash Era. She got a packed weekend over the next 4 days. Tonight, she's going to be at Joy District. Tomorrow at Tao and Aroma. Saturday, she doing Red Bull Dancer Style. And of course, she's going to be pulling up at her residency at Scarlet. Then on Sunday, she extra booked. She's going to be there during the Pride Parade, then the after party at Moe's Cantina, and following up at Fantasy. Speaking of a pride-filled weekend, on Friday, you got the all-white Yacht Gay Pride kickoff at DuSable Harbor. On Saturday, you've got Proud to Run the Pride Race 2025 up in Uptown. On Sunday, you've got the Pride Parade kicking off at 11 a.m. You've got Pride in the Sky Party at the Promontory. You've got the Lesbian Social Club's Pride After Party. And you know where you can find all of these events? And our event calendar at chicago.citycast.fm. We got you. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow, sitting down with our friends Brandon Pope and Maxwell Evans. We'll talk to you then. Peace.